Okay guys, this is a update video. Haven't done one of these in a while, but I felt like there was enough stuff to discuss by myself regarding the channel, and also it's E3 time, which may or may not be the reason why I've not posted anything in a while, and possibly the reason why something other than this may not get posted for the next few days. I don't know. I may play or stream something with other people in the next few days, because all that's coming up next is the Nintendo press conference, and that'll be pretty much all the big announcements over and done with. June update posted by Lord Doofus on the Apocalypse mod page on ModDB, which basically outright says that it could be coming any day or any week now, so hopefully before the end of June at least we will have 1.74, which means the return of the two missing factions, Chaos Demons and Demon Hunters. I know Nathan's pretty psyched to have his Demon Hunters back, so he'll probably want to play it more than as long as it works better than what it does right now, because at the moment we don't have a lot of luck when it comes to actually being able to finish a match without a game crash or a bug, an AI error of some sort. Once again, no idea if that's our problem on our end. Maybe we haven't installed the mod properly. But at least we get into games. There are some people who can't even start the game up and have problems with that, though that usually is something that they're missing. We've installed everything that needed to be installed. It's just that the game doesn't want to run too well. So, apart from that, maybe you're interested in my thoughts on E3? Probably not, but Nintendo's still to come, so this won't contain anything about them. I mean, I'll be excited for a new Metroid game and a new F-Zero game. Either one or both of those are announced. Like, even though it's just 3DS games, that'll be cool. I'll be fine with that. But yeah, those two franchises need to come back in some shape or form, because it's been a while, especially F-Zero. F-Zero has not seen a game for pretty much possibly a decade now. So we need some of that good stuff. Metroid is also perhaps in dire straits after the whole other M fiasco. Not sure where you can take that series from here. Maybe continue with the Prime series somehow, or just go back to 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania roots. Who knows? It'll be good to see a new Metroid game. And of course they'll probably have the next Zelda there in some form or capacity. Not sure if I'll be stoked or excited to see that or not. Skyward Sword never really hooked me, and Twilight Princess had the wolf segments, which I absolutely abhorred. That's abhorred, not adored. They might sound similar, but there is a very important difference between those words and their meaning. But yeah, so far I think in terms of actual gameplay, the Far Cry 4 gameplay demo at the Sony press conference was probably the most thrilling gameplay presentation. In terms of new announcements, I mean, there was some really cool, unexpected stuff. That Phantom Dust game, which is apparently a reboot of an Xbox original title that was some weird, obscure game, it seems like. That had a cool CG trailer, and then is it Scalebound from Kamiya, who is sort of the godfather of the modern character action genre, so if above all else that game will probably play really well. May not have a very good story or whatnot, but it should be a very good game to play, which is kind of the important thing when you think about it. Of course, another big topic was Bloodborne, with an E at the end, I believe. That was Hidetaka Miyazaki's new game, who who was the director on Demon Souls and the first Dark Souls, and I was pretty excited to see that finally get unveiled. That was sort of going into E3 under the name Project Beast, and wasn't really sure that it was going to actually make an appearance and be revealed or not. But that looks cool. That looks appropriately grim and gothic and dark, like what you would expect from the man who fostered the Souls franchise and made it what it is today. So even though it plays only a little bit like the Souls games, I mean, I'm interested to see what he does with it. I've got faith in that man. He has made directed, should I say, two incredible games, and I'm not completely down on Dark Souls 2. I think it will probably make my top 10 list for this year, maybe even in the top 5 somewhere, but it certainly was missing a little bit of that creative flair that Miyazaki obviously brought to the table. So a whole new IP from him that might borrow elements from the Souls games in some form, but still have its own unique mechanics to ride on. I'm excited to see more of that, and hopefully we will see actual game footage maybe later on at Tokyo Game Show or whatever. But yeah, Far Cry 4 probably the most impressive gameplay presentation, because it just sort of went from one thing to another, like jumping out of the truck to going into the hang glider mode, or the wingsuit mode, should I say, which was in Far Cry 3, and it was a pretty cool part of Far Cry 3. And going from there to that little town takeover thing, those were the stronghold takeovers were probably my favourite part of Far Cry 3. It was really cool scouting out the base and seeing the different ways that you could take it, like driving truck with explosives rigged to it into the enemy camp, or see that there's tigers in a cage and shooting the cage open with a sniper rifle from a long distance and letting them tear shit up, basically. Pretty cool. So yeah, they showed some of that with elephants this time. An elephant like headbutts an enemy vehicle and it explodes, and the elephant's just completely unharmed, which is amazing. And there was like a little hint of co-op with a weird sort of mini helicopter, really artsy type thing. So that was cool. New Crackdown, pretty excited, even though I have my doubts because Crackdown 2 was god awful. But it's the original team this time, at least some of the original team that made the first one, and the first one was a damn fine game. Definitely one of the better new IPs to come from last generation, so hopefully they continue their tradition. If they have the level of destructibility that they had on show on that trailer in the game, that'll be pretty amazing. To just have entire skyscrapers be torn apart. What else? Video games. The Order 1886 looked fairly cool. Not exactly the most impressive gameplay demo though, when you think about it. About four or five bullets fired in the entire thing. And one quick time event button press, and that was it. But it's got a nice concept. We kind of need more Victorian London steampunk-esque games, if you ask me. I think Bloodborne itself might be going for a similar aesthetic. That's much more dark and gothic and fantasy, probably. But yeah, it was nice to see. At least it was nice to see some gameplay, and to see that the transitions from gameplay to cutscene are pretty flawless. There isn't sort of that freeze load thing that you might get. It seemed to be transitioned fairly well from gameplay to cutscene, and the game also, I mean, that was sort of a theme this year of these games look really good, at least the ones that actually show gameplay rather than CG, but that's to be expected now. We're sort of finally kicking into the generation proper, so kind of want these games to look good, otherwise what are they doing? What else excited me? They sort of we're gonna it seemed like they were going to talk, at least maybe show a bit more of a future Mass Effect game, but that didn't really go anywhere. And then they mentioned on the side about how the original team was working on a new IP, but that didn't get shown in any capacity, I'm pretty sure. So that was pretty disappointing. I was hoping to see at least something from Mass Effect other than just a couple of concept videos. Same with Star Wars Battlefront, that really could have used a really, really good gameplay demo or something. I guess it's better than just a CG trailer from. As much as I love CG trailers from Blur, they make incredible trailers and whatnot. It doesn't represent the game. Like those ones back when the Old Republic was coming out were amazing, but it's like the game's not going to be anything like that. The game's going to be you're running around, clicking on things, going on fetch quests, and it's probably not going to be very entertaining. But I don't like MMOs, so maybe that's just me. I think that's really all I need to say. Want to say, need to say, need to want on that subject. I'm looking forward to what Nintendo has. It's about an hour from now it starts. Hoping for Bayonetta 2 and that X game from Monolith. Monolith Soft? Yeah, the one with the mechs and the dinosaurs or dragons and whatnot. That could be cool. I never played Xenoblade Chronicles, but I'm interested in this because of mechs. Any game you put mechs in the game, you've already got my attention halfway there. So, and of course, Super Smash Brothers will obviously be there and probably get some new character reveals. Hopefully, some Megatons like Mega Man last year. That was pretty significant. You wouldn't expect a Mega Man to be in a Smash Brothers game, but then you wouldn't expect Solid Snake and Sonic to be in a Smash Brothers game. So there, who knows? Surprises could be in store. All right, forgot No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky might be my game of the show, even though Far Cry 4 probably had a better gameplay demonstration. But yeah, No Man's Sky, just the concept alone, if they can even deliver on half of the stuff that they're promising, that game will be phenomenal. Because the whole randomly generated seeding thing, sort of similar to Minecraft in a way, I guess, and those types of games, but just being able to fly out seamlessly without no load time, it seems, from the planet's surface right up out of its atmosphere back into space. Just that alone is just amazing, and that's something that probably couldn't have been done in any previous generation. It's only because we're pushing the boundaries of the hardware to this sort of limit that we're finally going to get to see stuff like this, and it's really exciting. And the fact that the team is so small and doesn't have this giant sort of resume of previous games. I mean, they made Joe Danger games, which were cool, I guess, but you don't expect them to come out of nowhere and say, by the way, we're making one of the most ambitious games possibly ever created. So good on them. I really hope that their project succeeds and that game comes out and is at least good, and not just a huge disappointment, which could very well be the case. But I think it's pretty much all the games now that I want to cover. I mean, I'm still excited for stuff like Arkham Knight. That looked pretty cool. The Batmobile actually looked somewhat fun to drive at points, and it would be cool to eject out of it and go flying in the air. Plus the cityscape looked massive, so hopefully that's fully explorable. Witcher 3, pretty impressive showing. Dragon Age, in that sort of same vein of fantasy stuff, that also looks like it's going to be fairly good, but I haven't played the previous entries of either of those franchises yet. I have them, I own them all, but I haven't played them all. Maybe I'll look into that sometime in the future. But for now, I'm sticking my fantasy intent on Dark Souls and possibly Bloodborne in the future. That's where my fantasy heart is at right now. I like me some dark, gritty fantasy at the moment. So, I think I'm going to end it there for my E3 thoughts. And probably be another game in a couple of minutes that will pop out in my head. And I'll be like, oh yeah, I really like that. I really want to talk about that now, but I can't get this going too on. Uncharted 4, there, it was revealed. We thought it might be The Last Guardian, and it turns out to be Uncharted 4. Very short, nothing too amazing. Looks like they might be going for a really serious tone as opposed to the comedic tones that were sort of underlying the past 3 games and whatnot. And it could be the final Uncharted game. The subtitle and everything about that trailer's tone seems to set it that could be the final game. At least the final game with Nathan Drake, he made out at the end. Who knows? As long as they don't kill Sully, I'm fine with it. They can kill whoever they want in that franchise, but they can't touch Sully. They already tried. Spoiler alert! They already tried to kill him in Uncharted 3, and it turned out to be a hallucination. So it never really happened, but you were meant to think it had happened at one point, but yeah, they've done enough to Sully now. Leave him alone, have him in the game, have him be amazing as always, and that'll be that. And Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat was also a good showing, I think, in terms of fighting games. Actually having a major fighting game on stage is pretty big. They had Killer Instinct last year, so yeah, I guess it's not just Evo where you can make these Megaton announcements, even though we already knew about it going into E3. So yeah, Mortal Kombat X, or just Mortal Kombat 10, if you want to be pedantic about it. Yeah, looking forward to that, but a lot of this is far future, 2015 at the earliest, and so it's a long wait. Not a lot of stuff coming this year, unfortunately, but there is Dark Souls 2 DLC coming out slowly over the summer in episodes, and I'm really looking forward to that, because some of the content for that looks really good. The locales and stuff, and some of the enemy design, while completely dickish in From Software true form, yeah, it's got me pretty excited. Destiny. See, I'm looking up games now, and it's like, oh, Destiny, oh yeah, oh, the Rainbow Six Siege, oh yeah, but you know, they're kind of your run-of-the-mill Assassin's Creed Unity and all that stuff. Sort of hit on the big points that I wanted to make. So, I guess that'll end this update. Sort of very spontaneous. I thought, you know what, I feel like making an update video. Plus, I rarely get to talk to you guys when you can't reply unless you're going to type in a comment below. But, yeah, I just wanted to let you know that there might be a lull in content in the channel over the next week, because I'm very interested in E3 at the moment, and we'll probably be watching loads of stage demos from all the different sort of big stream sites that actually show stage demos or whatnot, and looking at all the trailers I missed and whatnot. And that runs on until Thursday. Plus, there's new comics to read on Wednesday and whatnot. I'm thinking about going to see Days of Future Past sometime this week, perhaps as well. So yeah, it could be a busy week. In any case, that pretty much wraps it up. Just wanted to talk about E3 and my thoughts on that. Maybe if one person out there is interested in my thoughts, damn it. I know you are. It's me from the alternate dimension. I've come to tell you that I'm interested in your content because you are me, and that's obvious. What am I talking about? This is going on some tangent. I don't even need Jack or anyone else here to help me go on a tangent. I can do it perfectly myself. My Dark Souls 2 series should continue soon. I'll get back into that. Haven't lost interest just yet. There is some challenge to be had. Lost Sinner proved that. And probably going to play more Subcom 2 in the future as well, you know. It's still got legs. Just convincing the other guys to play. It's mainly them. They're the problem people. Get on their backs about it. Go and hound them. I swear I keep asking you to do this. I don't actually mean it. I kinda do. But I kinda don't. It's up to you. You can, if you so wish, get a hold of their details and send them, I don't know, a cut off finger in the mail and be really creepy and psychopathic. But hey, it would probably get them to play games with me. But that's up to their discretion. And of course, the big thing, 1.74 update for Apocalypse could be coming any day now, and hopefully works, and we'll have the two factions that were missing back in the game, along with the retweaks for Necrons and Chaos, I believe. So, plus they might be. I think they've kept some details about this close to the chest. I know that Chaos Demons are meant to be having new Titan units that they haven't revealed yet, to my knowledge. So that will be that, I guess. Look forward to some more stuff in the near, but maybe not immediate future. I'm gonna go now, because, you know, Nintendo is less than an hour away. I gotta go get ready. And by that I mean I really need to go to the toilet. Really need to go. But of course you didn't need to know that. But now you know. Make of that knowledge what you will. So good time for video games, even with the shaky patches. It's still good to be a gamer. And a comic book fan. And an anime watcher. Kind of my whole shtick, isn't it? Good things come to those who want good things, I think. Yeah, there's my fortune cookie opener of the day. So, until next time, whatever my next video will be, I shall see you guys later.